This is Designing with Purpose, where we break down the thinking behind architecture for clients, for architects, for better projects. I'm your host, Kyle Stewart, talking with the team at Thrive Architects about what actually drives great design. Let's get started. Welcome back to Designing with Purpose. I'm your host, Kyle Stewart. Thanks for joining us today. In the studio, I've got firm principal at Thrive Architects, Jeremy Bartlett, and associate principal up in the Appleton office, Angie Streckenbach. Welcome back to episode number 11, officially, I believe we're at. How are you guys today?
Good. Hot.
Good.
It remains hot outside, yes. Thankfully, we are doing our best to stay cool inside. And today, we're going to have a conversation all around local businesses and how Thrive specifically helps local businesses succeed through what they do as architects and the services that they offer. You guys are very community oriented, and that is the mission and vision of many local businesses as well, to be an integral part of their communities. And so we want to know, how does an architectural firm like Thrive help local businesses succeed, and what are the maybe unique needs of those businesses when it comes to architecture and design? We're going to talk through some specific examples today that and incorporate some visuals that we haven't done before on the podcast.
Yeah,
So
I'm excited.
Enjoy, everyone, and we'll kick it off with what is it that small business owners or local business owners need the most from their architects?
Guidance. I'm jumping right in. I'm going to say guidance. For a lot of people, I think it's going to be their one and only time maybe to work with an architect. Obviously, some small businesses, they have big plans to keep growing, right? And that's wonderful. But for a lot of people, it's really their personal, personal baby, and they've nurtured it, and maybe now they're finally making the leap into buying their own property or leasing a space that's of significance. And there's a lot to navigate in an area that they don't have a lot of knowledge about, and even AI can't quite navigate it, or you can't trust what you navigate out there with it. So you need professionals. So we love to jump in and help.
Awesome. Yeah. What would you say, Angie, as far as what do local businesses need?
I think, the support during the navigating all of the layers of the process, right? Not everybody's sure that they even need an architect. Sometimes we get that call that we have to jump in and help out kind of midway through, because they've been caught doing something that they didn't have permission to do yet, or they didn't have an architect yet. That happens a lot with our smaller local businesses, just because they don't know. They don't know what they don't know, and we're here to help.
Yeah, and sometimes they have corporate, right? The corporate.
Sometimes there's corporate, corporate standards to navigate, and something that I don't know if everybody listening knows, but our team has a lot of background in corporate standards. We've all worked with some pretty large corporations and navigated the retail side of things, the hospitality side of things, and really understand those things, like as far as corporate standards go and how to incorporate them and all the different processes that are in place and approval steps along the way. So, we're here to help guide you through all of that as well.
What do you enjoy the most about working with local businesses specifically? And then we'll dive into some real life examples.
Looking forward to these examples, but because it'll cover some of that. But yeah, I really enjoy entrepreneurs in general. I'm an entrepreneur myself, and super excited about anybody who's willing to take a risk. Everyone's scared to take risk, and then when they get into it, it wasn't so scary. So I think maybe we help it not be so scary. But I think it's nice when people come in and we can help them with their problems.
Kind of piggybacking on the not making it scary. There is a lot to go into setting out on the path to reach your goal of opening your own storefront or, brick and mortar business. And part of what I love to do is just kind of follow along in that path and watch people reach their goals and kind of be able to be the one to guide them and set the stepping stones along the way. I love learning about the new spaces. A lot of these businesses are things I don't know anything about. So kind of learning how they do their business and how the flow happens and everything like that. I get to learn something along the way as well as teach them. So just watching people's visions come to life and their dreams come true is pretty fun for me.
Yeah, that's so cool to be a part of that. All right, let's get into some of the examples that you guys brought up. We'll start off with Goody Gourmets. Tell us a little bit about this project. What made that unique, special? What did you enjoy the
Yeah.
most about it?
So a small business owner had a storefront business, and finally got to a spot where they could buy their own property and make the leap. And what a journey! So the municipality was very challenging, but that wasn't the biggest challenge. The biggest challenge came on the construction side. They had a contractor that ended up leaving them high and dry and took money and ran. And we ended up having to help the owner really navigate that process. At that point, the owner was out some money. We had to work with the municipality to try to change the design a little bit so that we could recoup and still salvage the project and get to the finish line. To make matters more interesting, the owner did get the property on a very reasonable price because the site was an old gas station, and it had a cap on it, EPA cap on it. So basically, when we did the site development, we had to be conscientious of how we approached it and making sure we kept the cap in place. So we navigated all those issues and a few more, of course, along the way, like there always is, the normal stuff. And uh, proudly, they're operating. I think maybe I'm guessing we're into this one 7 or 8 years now. And I was just past it yesterday, and looks like they're doing well. And every once in a while, I get to talk with Jackie, and she's always the most positive, upbeat. I'd say that's the biggest thing through the whole thing, right? Like that entrepreneur spirit, staying positive, keeping faith. That's what got everyone through the process. But I also want to believe that our expertise helped to navigate a few sticky situations.
Yeah, it sounds like it did for sure. All right, Angie, we'll go over to you and project that you wanted to highlight with Fetch, Play, Sip. Tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about that one.
Yeah, this one's actually just kind of across the street-ish from our office here in Appleton, which was also kind of a fun element. But she came to me, not for the architecture on this one, actually. She had somebody that she was working with for architecture, which was fine. Um, and we just helped her kind of bring her vision to life on this. She had a full-time job. She had a vision of creating this indoor dog playground, dog care facility, boarding, doggy training, with a space for humans to grab a beer and sit down and hang out while their dogs played. And, obviously in Wisconsin, we've got winters to contend with. So she found an old kind of industrial office space that had a big garage space that we could turn into kind of the playground area for big dogs and for small dogs with outside connections because we already had the garage doors to work with and just creating a fun, bright space. She let us have a lot of fun with this because she wanted to have something really playful. There's more to come on this one
Of
as
course.
she wanted to open and kind of get her feet under her, but we also were able to make cool connections to the local artists in the area, and there's eventually gonna be some murals put in here by local artists that
Yeah.
are gonna be photo op spaces, to make selfie stations with your dogs and, like,
Right. Yes.
people do
All your
animal,
TikTok
birthday
videos.
parties,
Yeah.
and yeah, we'll just there's actually a party room in here for dogs, and when I went for the grand opening, she had doggy yoga happening too, so there was puppies running around while so she's having a lot of fun with it, and it was just really cool to be able to kinda guide her through the cons
Visioning
the vision
on the
and the
interior design.
Yep, the
That's
interior and kinda be her cheerleader on the construction side because like Jeremy mentioned too, there's a lot of nuances that happen in the construction side, and she needed a little help from
Mhm.
somebody outside and just navigating those turns and what happens when and what should she be expecting. So it was fun to be a partner with her.
Yeah. Well, I love it when somebody has such a fun idea and they can turn it into a valuable business as well. And obviously, it draws other people into and becomes a core part of the community. Here's a question. Do you know how many, I'm assuming those are tennis balls in that case. Do you know how many
Yes,
tennis balls are in there?
200.
200. Is there a significance to that number, or is it just
No,
random?
it just kind of landed that way, and you could buy them in cases of 100. So,
There you go.
but
So you got two
somebody
cases.
diligently made sure that the logos were all facing backwards, so you can't see them.
Oh, good. Yeah, and we don't want any.
And everything's pretty well lined up. There's a couple that aren't, but only a few of us can notice. And then we did put plexiglass in front to keep the dogs from trying to steal the tennis balls
Yes, good idea.
or lick them.
We should do like a small business scavenger hunt on our podcast where we highlight these small businesses and we say, all right, if you go and tell us how many tennis balls are in the case, and then you get a prize or something like that.
Yeah, that would
That's
be
Future
fun.
episodes. I've got ideas. As we wrap up, what have you enjoyed the most about contributing that way to your local community? I know you've done projects for the city of Waukesha, Jeremy, and it's definitely something that is clearly meaningful to you. So can you talk a little bit about just I don't know, the heart behind being involved in a community in that way?
Yeah, sense of purpose, that you're building something, that you're making a difference, kind of opposing the heaviness of the world, I guess would be another way to put it. Using your God-given talents to make something, make a light in somebody's life. Those are all like things that really were the precipice for the start of the company to begin with.
For me, it's the connections that are made in the community. Obviously, the things that Jeremy said remain true for me as well. But the connections, being able to see people out in the community, and when I'm meeting the next client, to be able to think about what I just completed for somebody that maybe I can bring them together. Maybe they can serve each other in some way or create a network. So I just think it's really special to be able to link the community together with each of our projects.
Mm-hmm. So in a sense, yeah, you act as kind of like the glue in a community and a bridge between businesses as you get to help different ones
A
succeed.
blueprint.
What's that?
A blueprint for the community.
A blueprint. There you go. Thank you for that more architectural term.
More architectural speak.
Yes. That is all the time we have for today. So thank you guys for weighing in on that, for giving some specific examples too of actual local businesses that you have helped to succeed with architectural design. And if you are a local business and you'd like help with design or have questions, I'm sure these guys would be more than happy to help you out. And as always, those of you listening and watching, drop us a comment to let us know what you think about this episode or any other ideas you have for other topics we should cover on Designing with Purpose. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll be back at you again next week with another episode of Designing with Purpose.